Hello happy students. Today our topic is Python data type and in this lecture we are going to discuss about Python tuple. Tuple is a data type used in Python programming language. Let's start Python tuple. So Python tuple is our topic today for today. So both are basically used to contain different data items, tuple and list, but there is a small difference between a tuple and a list is that but tuple is immutable data type. It means we cannot change the data elements of a tuple once assigned, but we can change the element of a list. Means list is a mutable data type and tuple is a immutable data type. And this question is asked so many number of times in our examination, and it is a very important question when we talk about Python tuple and list. So our question may be asked such a type that what is the difference between a tuple and a list. So tuple is basically we can not able to change the data elements once assigned, but in a list we can change the data elements of a list. So tuple is immutable and while list is immutable. So creating a tuple, how can you create a tuple here? There is a special mechanism to create a tuple and very simple procedure. Use sign of parenthesis and you can also create without the use of parenthesis, but here I suggest you to create a tuple with the parenthesis sign and just separate the different data items with a commas. So these are the two important things. So parentheses are optional. If you are not interested to use this sign of parenthesis, then you are also able to create a tuple here. Next is there is a small program which show how to create different types of tuples here. You can easily see that. Okay, different types of tuples. First is a tuple which is an empty tuple, and tuple which contain no data item at all. Just write nothing within parenthesis sign and you are able to create an empty tuple and assign it to a variable. A variable name is my tuple, and you can easily see that line number 3 my tuple is equal to an empty sign is empty parenthesis, or then print statement is there. So this is a single tuple, empty tuple. Next we can make a tuple using integers values. Integer values and tuple having integers. So there are three elements 1 2 3, all are integer type of values. So just pass 1 2 3 within parenthesis sign, you can able to create a tuple here. Next is tuple with mixed data types, and you can see here there are three different types of data here. One is an integer, second is an string, and third is an float value, and fourth is a nested tuple inside a tuple. Here you can easily see that there is a tuple inside a tuple. 1 2 3 is a tuple, and 1 2 3 tuple is a part of tuple which contain a string named mouse. A list contain element 846. So this is an example shown by a green color of nested tuple. So three different types of tuples are here, and when you execute this program you can get the output an empty tuple, tuple with integers, tuple with mixed values, and tuple nested tuples. Four different outputs are there. So let's execute this in Python programming. Just go to Python file here, new file, and just write this program here. You can see here that this is the program, and just run this program. Okay, source code must be saved before execute the program. Just give a small name here to save the program. To this video is for 17 July, so just write 17 July here and then just save, and you can see that this is the output of this program. An empty tuple which contain integer values and mixed tuples and nested tuples. Four different types of tuples are created using a here. If you want to execute this program, just pause a video here and just write the whole program here and try to execute this. You are able to create different types of tuples using this program. First is an example of empty tuple, then integer tuple, then you can see that. And the tuple contains different types of data values. One hello 3.4, one is an integer, hello is in a string, and 3.4 is a float value. And last is an example of, this is example of integer tuple contain integer values, and you can see that numbers are printed to show that these are the different data items of a tuple. Second, different data items of a tuple are basically mixed data is there, mixed data types are there. One is a number, hello is a string, 3.4 is a float value, and last is, you can see that this is an example of nested tuple. 1 2 3 is a tuple inside a tuple. The other elements is a mouse, which basically a string, and 846 are the element of a list here. So a string, list, and a tuple are passed within a list, within a tuple here. Now let us talk another concept related to tuple. This is called packing and unpacking of data elements. As I told you earlier that parenthesis sign to represent a tuple is not mandatory. You can represent a tuple without parenthesis sign. So give a name of tuple, name just my underscore tuple, and there are three values, 3 comma 4.6 comma dog. Three different types of data values are here, and this these three values is basically called tuple packing. Without parenthesis sign, you can pack all these data items into a single tuple named my tuple here, and then just print the statement. Obviously tuple will be printed. Now second concept related to unpacking of data elements. Unpacking of data elements means, because whatever you do with packing is just reverse is in unpacking. So just paste it here. I just perform a paste operation here and then save the program. Let us try to execute this program. What happens after the execution of this program? Oh, error. Why there is error? Because you do unpacking without packing. First of all, packing should be there. So let us take an example of our tuple first, and then we perform unpacking after packing. So before packing, a tuple should be declared, but here you can easily see that my tuple is equal to, okay, this is an example of tuple, and tuple with parenthesis sign. So it is not actually called the packing because all elements are defined within a parenthesis sign here. So, but to understand the concept of unpacking, first of all, tuple should be there, and to separate all these data items, you should use unpacking. Okay, that is the output. And concept of unpacking is very simple. Just count the number of data items into a tuple and take as much as variable as the number of data items in a tuple, write one after another by separate by comma. Here we can see that a comma b comma c, and then write, and then write name of tuple which you want to unpack. So now let us take another example. This is a perfect example given here. So write this program, and so first of all declare a tuple, perform pack operation, and then perform unpacking. Very simple. Take a variable name, define different data items to this tuple variable name, and then after taking different variable names for different data items of a tuple, and assign a tuple value to it. You can tuple variable to it. You can get different data items related to that tuple. After that, only a print statement is there by which you can easily find out what is the output of the program. And next is creating a tuple with one element is a bit tricky. Now, if you want to create a tuple with only a single element, it is a tricky. So remember this concept. Output based question may be asked regarding to that concept. Here's a small program. You can see that my tuple here, print type my tuple. Obviously type of my tuple will be printed here, but it is not a tuple because it is a string here. So in first case, string will be the output hello. Hello is a string because marked within double quotes and marks also within a parenthesis sign. But if you want to create a tuple, just write a string within double quotes if a string is there, and put a comma sign. As I told earlier that sign of parenthesis are not very important to represent a tuple. So with or without parenthesis sign, you can create a tuple, but always remember that after the tuple, make after the single element which tuple have, mark comma sign. Let us check this. Okay, this is the output here, a string tuple. Okay, so first case is regarding to related to string, second is tuple, and third is a tuple. So overall we can say that if you want to put a single element within a tuple, then write the element with or without parenthesis sign, but after that make a comma operator. This will create a tuple with single element. That is the whole concept behind it. But if you are not able to do this, or if you don't apply this concept and just write a single element without separated without a comma sign, then the result is a string, not a tuple. Next is access tuple elements. Now next question that is very important: how we can access different tuple elements. So there is an index position for each and every element of a tuple, and it start from 0. Remember that it start always from 0. And there are two types of indexing: positive indexing and negative indexing. For negative indexing we will discuss later in this video, but by first of all, let us talk about positive indexing. First element get at position 0, second is at 1, third is at 2, and up to so on. So here we can see that there is a name of tuple, my tuple, and there are different elements p, e, r, m, I, 2. So these are the different data items assigned to my tuple. P is at position number 1, po position number 0, e at 1, r at 2, m at 3, and up to so on. Next is my tuple 0. In this you can see that marked with the blue color, my tuple 0. So it basically show the element at position 0, which is p in that case, and my tuple 5, 5. So at fifth position you can see that counting starts from 0. Remember that. So at 0 p is there, at 1 e, then r, then m, and then t. So at position 5, at index position 5, element is 5. T will be printed. T will be printed. Not 5 will be printed, T will be printed. Because counting starts from 0. So P at 0, E at 1, R at 2, M at 3, and P at 5. So T at 5, so T will be printed here. And what happens if you give a number, index number, which is not, and at that index number there is no element at all, then their index error, listed data of storage error will be appear. Here T is at fifth position and index position 5, and if you write just T6, what happens? Let us check it. At position 0 P is there, 1 at 1 E, at 2 R, at 3 M, at 4 I, and at 5 T. So in previous case, when we write just P5, and always remember that index position is right within bracket, uh, large bracket, sign of large bracket here. Now second is index must be an integer. Index is always an integer. It cannot be look like this 2.0, 3.0. So it is always an integer. It may be negative, positive, or 0. So negative values are also acceptable, but float value are not acceptable at all. Not acceptable at all. And you can see that nested tuple is there. Different types of data elements are there. First one is a string, second one is a list here, third is also a tuple. So and then a nested tuple is there because a tuple is defined within a tuple here. The tuple contains three data elements. Mouse is a string, 846 is a list, and 123 is a tuple. And this tuple is a part of a tuple itself, so that's why this is called the nested tuple. And when we want to access the element of a nested tuple, this is also possible, and it is very interesting. Let us check it. 0 3 nest example of nested index. So please concentrate on this topic. It is very important regarding to output based question answer, and after that you are able to understand this concept. You are able to do question answer related to index position of a tuple or a list or a string, because concept is almost same for all of them. Same is all of them. 0, first element is 0. So basically for a nested list, at position 0 there are three different data items. So at position 0 there is a data item named mouse. So here we will talk about first element mouse, and second data element comma 3 is there. So since there is a nested tuple here, and we write here 3, so actually it means that element, first of all, element mouse, element at position 0 will be selected, that is mouse in this case. And in mouse particularly, element at position number 3 will be selected, and we can see that at position number 3 is MOUS. MOUS, S is there, so S will be printed. You can easily see that. Now I think it is clear to all of you. And what happens for 1 1? Now it is for you. Just pause the program, pause the video, and just tell me what is the output. At 1 1, at position number 1 of nested list, elements are 8 4 6 here. So this data item is selected, but this is a this is a list here which contain different data items. So in this list at position number 1 there is the element name 4. So 4 is the output. 4 is the output. 4 will be printed. Now I think it is clear how to find out element uh, and nested index using nested tuple. Next is very important topic, negative indexing. Negative indexing. Python has allowed negative indexing for sequence. So you can write element from, find out a position from right to left and left to right. So negative indexing just opposite to that of positive indexing. It means direction is changed as well as sign is also changed, but it always start with -1. This is very important. Start with -1. Now you can see here that this is a string here, this is a tuple here, and tuple contain 5 different elements, P, E, R, M, I, T. These are the different elements of a tuple, and we have to apply negative indexing in this case. So at position -1 T is there, at position -2 I is there, at -3 M is there, and at position -R, -4 R is there, and it goes up to -5. So when we want to print my tuple, my underscore tuple is the name of tuple, and write the position -1, then P will be the output, because at position -1, no, T is the output, sorry, T is the output. And when we give a value -6, at -6 we can see that P is there, so P will be printed. Now slicing is similar as we discussed in list. So the concept of slicing is same for list, for tuple, and for string. There is no change at all. Basics is same for all of them. And in last session we already discussed about slicing. So this is a program. Just pause the video here and write this program. This is a program which tells different types of tuple slicing. And to execute this, first of all, just write the program on a copy and then understand what happens in different types of tuple slicing given in this statement. Actually, there are different statements which show the different types of slicing in here, and try to execute this program. And the concept of slicing will be discussed in detail in our next video, but here I give some introduction of array slicing. Here, when you cut a tuple into different parts, and that is called the array slicing. So there are two numbers which are required, index position which are required. First is start position and second is end position. So it always start the start position. For suppose if you give 1, then it start slicing at position 1, and then after colon sign which show that this is a particular type of range here, and then give any number. Suppose as we give here 4, suppose we give 4. So after slicing we get 3 element of a tuple, position at element at position number 1, element at position number 2, and element at position number 3. Three different types of data elements will be selected. Remember that last element is not selected. But if we don't give any in start position, then it always start from initial value at, or the value at position 0. And if we don't give any end value, then it slice up to last value. And if we don't give any value, start value or any end value, then slicing is not there. It will basically print whole tuple because you don't give a condition for a tuple. So just try to execute this program. I hope now you are able to understand how to create a tuple, how to give index position, how to access different data items of a tuple using index position, and how to find out array slicing, how to find out tuple slicing in different manners. So just write this program and try to execute this program. I hope you like this video. Thanks for watching this video.